The Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.
Good evening to you all. Welcome to The Love Talk Show.
Let's learn intelligent love.
It's the Q&A on The Love Talk Show.
That's right. Tonight is the Q&A, right? Where we are going to be answering some of your questions. Every Tuesday, as you know, it's Tuesday night. Every Tuesday, we have some questions that have come in via email, and we're going to be answering them live here in the program. It's going to be a blessing.
100%.
We're going to be teaching and you're going to be learning. So prepare yourself, right? But before we do, we want to know who's connected tonight to the Love Talk Show. And would like to ask you to write down your name, your branch, and the special hashtags. If you are single, you're going to write down your name, your branch, and you're going to hashtag
Single for now.
Single for now, right? Because it's not forever, it's for now. And if you're married and you're connected with your spouse, or maybe you're even connected alone because your spouse is at work or what have you, you're going to write down your name, the name of your spouse, and you're going to write the hashtag
I'm happy, I'm married.
I'm happy, I'm married, right? Now, you have 30 seconds to contact as many people from your branch to connect to the Love Talk Show tonight. Because the two questions that we have,
Very interesting,
right? And very important for us to learn, especially for the singles, and also for the couples, right? So 30 seconds, you're going to contact as many people as possible to connect, and we are going to get right into it. Before we do, let's watch this video.
Hey, you who are at home right now and would like to use your time to learn about intelligent love, see how easy it is. The doors of the Love Therapy are always open on Facebook, Instagram, and Telegram. We await you.
Exactly, we have our social media accounts, and you're more than welcome to check it out, to connect, to follow, and to interact. We are going to be answering the questions now, and let's get right into it. I am getting to know someone at the moment, but I feel like there are many times where they try to be too spiritual in our conversations. Wow, this is very interesting. We can be laughing, and all of a sudden they mentioned that they were seeking the Holy Spirit on their way to meet on that day, or to meet me on that day. I think this is suspicious, because if someone is truly spiritual, then it just shines through. Am I right or just overthinking? Am I right or just overthinking?
It's an interesting question.
It's very interesting.
valid.
And you know, one thing that is very important is, for you who sent this in, is to pay close attention to the first part of what you said, which is, we are getting to know, or I'm getting to know someone at the moment. Getting to know a person means you are going to learn about the person. It means you're going to find out things about the person. It means you're going to ask questions about the person to see whether you are compatible with them and whether they are compatible with you, right? Mm-hmm. And what you've learned so far, right, it's good that you've asked this question, but you have to understand that the person that is with you is also getting to know you, is also learning about you. And there are one of two things that could be happening right now. It could be that indeed you're correct. The person is trying to show something that they're not, because it's a possibility. But it could also be that the person is noticing that maybe you don't involve yourself in spiritual conversations. Maybe when you speak to them, maybe they're thinking to themselves, this person doesn't really say anything spiritual to me. So let me try and, bring it out of them. Let me try and bring a conversation in. This is why the talking stage, getting to know a person, is very, very crucial. It's something that should not be overlooked. It's something that should be taken good care of, speaking, asking questions, and understanding each other. Because again, you're getting to know that person and that person is also getting to know you, right? Mm-hmm. Is there anything else you'd like to add to that?
I'd like to say as well, because I think the person's concerned, they want to make sure if what this person is saying, they really live up to it, I guess, isn't it? And again, that's why this stage is really important, because you have the opportunity to see if what a person says is backed up by their actions and their reactions as well, which is why, again, this talking stage, the dating stage, is very, very important, because you can't just go by what a person says. You want to know what's truly inside the person. And the way to see what's truly inside the person isn't always by what they say, but it can be how they react to situations.
Yeah. As we know, actions speak louder than words. And also, just something to add on with what you're saying. If you are really concerned, if it's something that doesn't really add up, don't be afraid to find out, right? What do I mean? You can speak to the pastor, right? To the person, to the pastor that is in the branch of the person, to speak to their circle of friends, to find out more about the person. Because again, your concern could really be you overreacting, overthinking, or it could be something that is actually of foundation, right? So it's good for you to check. If maybe you have to check yourself as well. Am I not actually engaging in spiritual conversations? Am I not helping this person spiritually to develop? Maybe they're helping me, but I don't see that part as important. Or maybe they're trying to prove to you something that they're not. It's good to always ask, to speak to the pastor, to speak to their friends, even the assistants in that branch. This is not something wrong to do, actually. I would encourage you to do this, just to find out a little bit more about this person. Okay?
I was even going to say as well, so someone could listen and think, okay, what kind of questions can I ask? I think as well, it's good to kind of, I wouldn't say give scenarios, but to ask the person that you're asking to be honest. How does this person react, for example, when they're contradicted? How does this person react when they're having a bad day? Because all of us, we have things to work on, things to change. We're all human. It's not every day that everyone's all happy. Sometimes things don't really go our way. But again, it's in the reactions. How does that person react? So I think it's important as well, if you're going to speak to people that know the person, to also kind of not just get their good side, but also see how they react, or how their not so good side is.
When it comes to challenges, difficult situations, being contradicted, being corrected, how does that person react? And sometimes you may even try to give constructive criticism. You may try to give them advice. How do they react based upon the advice that you give them, the correction that you give them? How do they react? These are things that you have to look into as well, okay? Remember, actions speak louder than words. So it's not just what the person is saying. And if really this is a concern and it's been something ongoing, speak to someone and to people and ask the necessary questions that can help you figure out who this person really is. Okay? There's nothing wrong. You're getting to know the person. So indeed, get to know them. Okay? We are going to play another video. Maybe you are watching now and you have questions. You are going through maybe certain situations within your love life, being a single, being married, and you want to ask this question for it to be answered in the Q&A. How do I send in my question? Watch this short video to find the answer.
Do you have questions about love, relationships, or dilemmas of the heart? Well, you need not worry anymore. The Love Talk Show has the perfect segment for you, the Q&A. Send your questions to love@uckg.org and have them answered on the show.
We're going to be here together answering people's questions.
If you prefer to remain anonymous, please let us know and we will respect your privacy. Tune in to the Love Talk Show every Tuesday at 10:30 p.m.
The Love Talk Show. Live, learn, and love.
Let's learn the intelligent love.
Your question can be used as the topic of the program. Who knows? You just might be helping others in a similar situation. Sharing your questions can help you, as well as inspire and guide others facing their own love challenges. Your email could be the beginning of a journey of understanding and discovery. Don't leave your questions unanswered. Email love@uckg.org now and take part in the Q&A segment on The Love Talk Show. The Love Talk Show, helping you to love intelligently.
Exactly. So this is it. Don't forget the email love@uckg.org. Send in your questions, and as soon as you send it in, you'll be in the line. You'll be in the line, but for sure your question will be answered. Speaking of questions, we have another one. We have someone else who has sent in their question, and we're going to answer it here now. Let's read. So, I'm an introvert and like to keep myself to myself. How do I go being noticeable without changing my personality? This is very, very, very
It's a very interesting question.
Very interesting. How would you help this person who is an introvert, Luke?
I mean, I think the person has to establish why they're an introvert. Because I know, for example, not everyone is as social as maybe the next person. But to be noticed, you have to first be seen.
Mm-hmm.
You can't notice what you don't see.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I'm a person, for example, that always kind of tries to hide in the background, I'm not saying that now this person must be like, look at me, see me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think understanding why this person is an introvert will help them to understand what they need to do or what kind of steps they need to take.
Exactly. And just adding on what you're saying, that why may not even be you being an introvert, because again, someone that's an introvert can still be sociable. They may not be the loudest person, they may not be very boisterous, but they're still very sociable. They can still engage in conversation. But if you're someone who you don't interact, can we read that question again, please? Because it's something interesting that was said. So, I'm an introvert and like to keep myself to myself. This is the thing. Why do you like to keep yourself to yourself? I'm not saying that there's something major, but it could be, right? It could be something that stems from your past. It could be a fear of being hurt. It could be pride. It could stem from so many different things. It could just be
confidence as well.
Exactly. It could just be a lack of confidence. It seems like we're just stating many negative things, but it's good to check. It's good to check. It's always good to check. As you said earlier, we're always improving. No one's perfect, right? But in order for you to be noticed, you have to step forward. And if you're someone who keeps yourself to yourself, you are never going to be noticed.
And as well, people might misunderstand, because I noticed with a person, again, we all have different personalities, but let's say, for example, it's the day to go to love therapy and someone, is looking around. I don't know if, for example, the person has a straight face all the time, and let's say this person does notice and thinks, okay, let me approach this person. If the person's there with a very serious face, that can even be off-putting to the person. They might think, oh, there's no point in speaking to this person because they might shut me down. It's just, I don't know, but, it's just something to think about as well.
But a person who keeps themselves to themselves will not even go to the singles hour. Because they keep themselves to themselves. the Bible says that a man who isolates himself seeks his own desires. And it's very important that you don't find yourself isolating yourself. It's important that you don't find yourself being someone who's separated from everyone, separated from opportunities and blessings that God has prepared for you. So check and don't miss out on moments like the singles hour. Why? Because the singles hour, you may not find, your Romeo and Juliet. You may not find the love of your life in that day, but you may find a friend.
Who knows someone.
Who knows someone, exactly. You may find someone who, you're able to build your confidence with. Someone who you may even be able to find confidence in just interacting with different people from different branches. You may be able to learn from the love team, to learn something even in the love therapy. Every Thursday, 8 p.m., you learn how to develop within yourself. So it's important for you not to miss out on these opportunities, right? Being an introvert is not wrong. It's not something wrong, because, there are people who are louder. People are a bit more quiet than others. But keeping yourself to yourself, isolating yourself can become a problem. Okay? So think about this. Okay? Take the opportunities, interact with people in your branch, speak to those who are in your branch, the members of the church, the assistants. Get to know people, allow people to get to know you, because then you can know how to work within yourself and you can become confident as well.
And it even helps because in a relationship in the future, you're going to have to, there are going to be times again where you may not necessarily feel like speaking, or, you may not, I'm not saying that you should be now the loudest person, but you're going to have to remember, I think I've mentioned this before as well, you're going to have to remember that there's someone else there. So there are times when, okay, like me, if you can leave me in a bubble, I'd be more than happy there, but I have to remember that, I have someone with me. And also day to day, exactly. Mm-hmm. And also day to day, it's not exactly practical either, because, our life, for me to be trapped in a bubble, it's not going to work out. So it's just good to develop these things, not only to find someone, but to also sustain a relationship.
Exactly. Well, that is the Q&A for tonight, and that is the Love Talk Show for tonight. We hope we're able to answer your questions and to bless you tonight. And tomorrow, again, we continue in the Love Talk Show. May God bless you all. And remember, live, learn, and
love.
God bless you.